There are people who enter your life wearing masks of kindness, charm, and understanding. They look like friends, sound like supporters, and act like they care. But beneath their words lies a silent intention to tear you down, to drain your confidence, and to destroy what makes you strong. You might not notice it right away because they don't attack you directly. They do it slowly, subtly, piece by piece. Recognizing these people is not about becoming paranoid. It's about protecting your peace, your worth, and your future. The first sign is that they disguise manipulation as concern. They'll say things like, I'm just looking out for you, or I'm only being honest, but somehow you always end up feeling smaller, uncertain, and guilty. They twist their words so that their cruelty sounds like care. Pay attention when someone's honesty leaves you feeling ashamed instead of inspired. Real concern builds you up, it doesn't break you down. The second sign is that they secretly celebrate your pain. When something good happens to you, they act happy, but their smile fades too quickly. When you stumble or fail, you can almost see a flicker of satisfaction in their eyes. They feed on your struggle because it makes them feel powerful. You can sense it in the way they comfort you. It never feels genuine. It feels rehearsed. And if you listen carefully, you'll realize that their comfort is just curiosity wearing empathy as a costume. The third sign is how they compete in everything, even the things that don't matter. If you're happy, they try to be happier. If you share something personal, they share something worse, turning your pain into a contest. These people can't celebrate others because someone else's joy reminds them of what they lack. They live off comparison, and they will do anything to keep you beneath them. But true connection has no scoreboard. When someone loves you, they want you to win, even if it means they come second. The fourth sign is the way they rewrite stories to control the narrative. They will distort your words, change small details, and retell events in a way that makes you look like the problem. Over time, you start doubting your own memory. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. This is emotional warfare, subtle, clever, and deeply damaging. But remember this: when someone tries to confuse your reality, it's because they fear your clarity. The moment you see the truth, their power over you begins to disappear. And the fifth sign, the most dangerous of all, is that they drain your spirit while pretending to love you. They will make you believe that you need them. They will make you question your worth without their approval. But their love feels like walking on glass, careful, fearful, never free. The moment you begin to heal, they'll call you selfish. The moment you start to grow, they'll say you've changed. But that's the point. Times changed. You're finally seeing the truth they never wanted you to see. When you recognize these signs, don't argue, don't try to fix them, and don't waste time proving your goodness. Protect your heart, protect your peace. Distance is not cruelty, it's self-respect. Let them think you're cold, distant, or proud. Let them misunderstand you. The ones who want to destroy you will always disguise control as care, but the ones who truly love you will never make you question your worth. Walk away not in anger, but in strength. Let your silence be the boundary that keeps your soul safe. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say to someone who wants to destroy you is nothing at all. They disguise manipulation as concern. Is one of the most dangerous and subtle forms of emotional control because it hides behind the mask of care. These people present themselves as protectors, advisors, or friends who only want what's best for you. But pay attention every time they offer advice. It's never to empower you, it's to plant doubt. They wrap criticism in soft tones so it doesn't sound cruel, but it feels heavy, like something inside you shrinks after every conversation. They will say things like, I just don't want you to get hurt, or you're sure you can handle that. On the surface, those words sound kind, but the intention behind them is to weaken your confidence, not strengthen it. Manipulative people are skilled at reading emotions. They know when you're vulnerable, and they use that moment to slip in control disguised as guidance. They'll act like they're saving you from mistakes, but what they're really doing is convincing you that you can't trust yourself. Every piece of advice chips away at your independence. Soon, you start second-guessing your choices, seeking their approval before making decisions, and feeling anxious if they disapprove. That's how manipulation hides. It doesn't attack your strength directly. It quietly convinces you that you don't have any. What makes this so toxic is the confusion it creates. You start wondering if you're being too sensitive, if maybe they're right, if maybe they really do care. That doubt is their weapon. They thrive in that space where you question your own instincts. True concern doesn't make you feel small. It gives you clarity, not confusion. Real love encourages growth, not dependence. If you notice that someone's care always leads you back to them, always keeps you questioning yourself, that's not care, it's control. The truth is, people who genuinely love you will help you build confidence, not destroy it. They will give advice, but still respect your decisions. They will voice concern, but never use it to limit your dreams. When someone disguises manipulation as concern, they are trying to become the voice inside your head, rewriting your belief in yourself. The most powerful thing you can do is recognize that voice doesn't belong to love, it belongs to fear, and it's time to stop letting fear speak for you. They quietly enjoy your pain, though they'll never admit it. On the surface, they seem supportive, the kind of person who shows up when things fall apart. But if you look closer, if you feel the energy beneath their words, you'll notice something chilling your suffering gives them satisfaction. When life knocks you down, they show up not out of compassion, but curiosity. They want the details, the drama, the emotion, not because they care, but because it feeds their hidden sense of superiority. When you're broken, they feel whole. When you're struggling, they feel strong. You can see it in the way they listen. There's a strange excitement in their eyes when you talk about your pain, as if your wounds validate their worth. And when things start going well for you, when light begins to return to your face, they suddenly grow distant. They find reasons to criticize your progress or remind you of your past mistakes. They'll say, "Don't get too comfortable," or "Let's see how long this lasts," because your happiness threatens the role they built for themselves, the one where they're always the one above you, the one helping the weaker one. They feed off imbalance. When you're thriving, the dynamic shifts, and that scares them. They can no longer feel needed, powerful, or in control. So they do subtle things to pull you back down, planting doubts, making backhanded compliments, or spreading little bits of negativity disguised as realism. "I'm just trying to keep you grounded," they'll say, but what they mean is, "I liked you better when you were hurting." People like this don't want healing. They want dependency. They want you to stay in a place where they can play savior, but the truth is their comfort is conditional. The moment you start shining too bright, their affection turns cold. You'll sense the shift even if they never say it out loud. The energy changes. The conversations change. You'll notice they stop clapping when you win. Real friends celebrate your peace as much as your pain. Real love doesn't feed off your brokenness. It stands beside you in your rebuilding. When someone only feels close to you when you're suffering, it's not connection, it's control. It's not love, it's envy in disguise. They twist reality to make you doubt yourself. It's one of the most dangerous tactics because it doesn't just attack your confidence, it targets your sense of truth. It begins subtly. They'll deny things they said, claim you misunderstood, or accuse you of overreacting. You'll bring up something hurtful they did, and somehow by the end of the conversation, you're the one apologizing. That's not an accident. It's manipulation in its most calculated form. Their goal isn't to win an argument. It's to rewrite reality until you can no longer trust your own mind. These people use confusion as a weapon. They mix truth with lies so skillfully that you start questioning your memory. They might say things like, "You're imagining it," or "You always make things bigger than they are." Slowly, you begin to believe them. You stop speaking up because you're tired of being told you're wrong, dramatic, or sensitive. That's how they control you, not through fear, but through doubt. The moment you can't trust your perception, you start relying on theirs. And that's exactly what they want to become, the voice that defines what's real. This manipulation creates emotional chaos. You feel trapped between anger and guilt, certainty and confusion. One minute you're sure they've crossed a line, the next you're questioning whether you overreacted. It's exhausting, and over time, it erodes your self-esteem. You start walking on eggshells, constantly editing your words, making sure nothing can be misunderstood. But no matter how careful you are, they always find a way to twist it. They thrive on your instability because the more uncertain you are, the more power they gain. But here's the truth. If someone constantly makes you question your memory, your feelings, or your worth, it's not you, it's them. They fear your clarity because clarity breaks their control. The moment you start trusting your intuition again, their manipulation begins to lose its power, and that's where your healing begins. They drain your energy while pretending to love you. At first, it feels like connection, intensity, even passion. They want to be part of your every moment, know your every thought, and understand your every move. It feels flattering, like someone finally sees you, but over time, that closeness starts to feel suffocating. What once felt like attention begins to feel like control. Their affection becomes conditional, and you realize that their love only exists when you're meeting their needs. When you're strong, independent, or distant, their warmth fades. When you're weak, uncertain, or vulnerable, they suddenly become caring again. It's not love, it's possession disguised as devotion. People like this don't want a relationship built on equality. They want one built on dependence. They need you to rely on them emotionally so they can feel important. They'll constantly make you feel guilty for setting boundaries or taking space for yourself. If you don't answer right away, they'll say, "I guess I don't matter to you." If you take time for your goals, they'll say, "You're changing." And they're right, you times are times changing, but not in the way they want. You're growing beyond the control they had over you. They drain your energy by keeping you emotionally off balance. One moment they're affectionate and attentive, the next cold and distant. That unpredictability keeps you hooked, always trying to win their approval again. It's like chasing a version of love that never really existed. They make you feel responsible for their happiness, and over time, you begin to lose yourself trying to keep them satisfied. You stop prioritizing your own peace because their emotions dominate everything. What makes this kind of relationship so destructive is the illusion of love it creates. You believe you're cared for, but what's really happening is emotional consumption. They take your light, your time, your energy, and give back just enough affection to keep you from walking away. They'll convince you that you're ungrateful, that they're the only one who truly understands you, that no one else would love you the way they do. And in that belief, they trap you. Love is not meant to drain you, it's meant to restore you. If someone's presence leaves you exhausted instead of peaceful, if you're constantly defending your right to feel free, then what they're offering isn't love. It's control wrapped in tenderness, and the most loving thing you can do for both of you is to walk away. At some point, you have to stop explaining, stop excusing, and start protecting your peace. The people who want to destroy you won't do it with fire or fury. They'll do it with whispers, doubt, and control. They'll twist concern into manipulation, smile through your pain, turn your victories into competition, bend your truth until you no longer trust yourself, and call it love while draining the life out of you. They don't come to break your body, they come to break your spirit. And the only way they win is if you let them convince you that you deserve it. But you don't. You were never meant to shrink for someone else's comfort or stay quiet to keep someone else calm. You were not born to be controlled, compared, or questioned into silence. You were born to rise, to speak, to choose yourself again and again. The moment you recognize these signs, the moment you stop trying to change them and start choosing distance, is the moment you reclaim your power. This isn't about hate, it's about healing. It's not revenge, it's release. Walking away doesn't make you heartless, it makes you whole. Because peace isn't found in fixing those who hurt you, it's found in freeing yourself from their reach. So protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Guard your heart like it's gold, because it is. And remember this, people who truly love you will never make you question your worth, your sanity, or your strength. When you let go of those who try to destroy you, you don't lose you times win asterisk. You win back your clarity, your confidence, and your calm. Choose peace over approval. Choose truth over comfort. Choose yourself every single time